What is this controller and wearing your hat like a plonker
What a plonker.
and Spider-Man No Way Home have in common? I bet you never guess. Nostalgia. Yes, nostalgia. Do you know what? I remember the good old days, the 90s. Everyone who played video games had a SNES. Do you know what? That was the absolute thing to have then. I remember your boys would come to your house, you all used to gather around and you put on your little controller. If you were lucky, you had two. And then you put on the old Double Dragon. Oh my days, Double Dragon. Battletoads. Yes, yes, Battletoads. What was the other one? Ninja Turtles. And oh my god, can't forget the best Street Fighter Turbo. Yes, that was the day. That was, do you know what? Those were the days, man. I can't even talk. I'm so excited about it. So this is a modernization of basically that vibe that you got when you held that controller in your hand. So this is the 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. So I'll tell you a little history about this company. Fun fact, the name 8BitDo, actually, they took the last bit, the do bit, from Nintendo. Do you know what? I used to say 8-bit do, and someone was like, 8-bit who? 8-bit do, 8-bit do. So 8-bit do, that's how you say it. It's a little bit tricky at first. So basically, if you look at their website, they started off making old school SNES controllers. They started off doing a little bit of something of even the square root controller. I tell you what, they've even got the arcade stick. I love that thing, Street Fighter on that thing, man. That was classic. If you were lucky to be one of those people that actually got one of those at home, and if that person had a second normal controller and they played like Street Fighter, guess what? You'd never beat them. They were the masters because they had the whole 6-button layer, and they'd be like, that's it, done. All right. So basically, do you know what? There's not much to say about it because look at it, man. It's a beauty. The thing is, it speaks for itself. It's got quality, decent build. I'm basically using this on iPhone. As these are used on most devices, you've got PC, you've got Mac as well if you want that. It says Steam, but Steam and PC are kind of the same thing. And obviously Switch, which is what they originally made these for, because they have a Pro and a Pro 2 and an Ultimate. And if you're on Switch, I would definitely say get the Ultimate because it is really good. It is really good. I like the look of it in any case. Right. So, do you know what? I've been playing with this on COD Mobile for about a couple of months, and I haven't had any issues as it goes. I've just used it as any other person would use it, and sometimes my hands get all sweaty, and I think these do fine. I can say because I use a phone holder thing that sits on it. There is a little bit of scarring on the actual controller. But outside of that, the build quality is absolutely perfect. It's just on par with modern controllers, really, like your Xboxes, your PlayStations, your Nintendo Switches, and the likes. So what you see is that they've got a bit of that's good. Including that is really good because worst comes to worst, you can swap that out, put AA batteries. It's comfy in the hand. It's got these little smooth textures. I like them. I think they took them from PlayStation. I mean, who cares who copies who, really? But the best of all, they've got triggers on the back. Look at that. They've got their buttons. Man, do you know what? Long set. I've played for like one night. I think I must have played for like 4 or 5 hours straight on this thing. Couldn't tell the difference. It just felt natural, felt smooth. No button sticking. The only thing I had one time is one of the controllers sort of lost orientation at one point. I did kind of have to reset the controller and kind of try and reset it, delete it off my profile on the iPhone because I'm using the iPhone. So that it's not an issue, but that's just something that I'd consider. So they do have an app on your phone, which is on devices, sorry, on iPhone, Android, is called the Ultimate app. Is it? I tell you what, I don't use it because it's actually not compatible with iPhone believe it or not, even though it's an iPhone app. So it's compatible with Switch and PC. So I don't actually use it. So future me has actually come back to correct old me. So it does actually work. It just depends which profile you pick. That's what I actually meant to say. So depending on which profile you pick at the back here, where it says SADX, obviously Switch, Apple, I think 111, Xbox, blah, blah, blah. So depending on which profile that you've picked on there, it should work for the Ultimate Software app. I think in its natural state as an 8BitDo, it doesn't actually work with the iPhone. I think it'll work as DualShock, and you can just pick and pick which different profiles that you want to pick on there. I'd go for this. This gives me the vibes, man. This gives me the feels. It feels good. It feels natural. And besides, it's fully customizable. And also you've got these buttons. The triggers feel good. It does feel good, man. It really goes for it. The Ultimate Software Up issue, that's not really an issue. I mean, who cares? You can still play with it. And what I've noticed is if you're using an iPhone, there's two ways of using it. You can put it on the A, which is Apple, whatever, Mac. You see, I felt that just connected to the phone, hence the button. And then you can use that as a PlayStation controller because it comes up as DualShock 4. Or you can put it on the X and it will work as itself. The only difference is it's got rumble support, but on some games I found that it don't actually work. I think it's due to the profiling. So depending on which profile you pick, the rumble tends to work. So if you go on DualShock 4, I think most games will actually be customized for a PlayStation controller on iPhone. So they tend to work, which is what I use because like games like Grid, that works. I know that works really good on this. So I mainly use it for shoot 'em ups, racing games. I play a beat 'em up. Do you know what? I'm a gamer already, but specific games I like. And when you play long term, for long hours, long periods of time on iPhone especially, I prefer not to be going tick, 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 tick on that little screen. I mean, even if it's a Pro Max, Pro makes no difference. This is way better. You can play for 5 hours and not realize it. The only difference being your screen size or whatever you're looking at. If I were to pair this with an iPad, this would be absolutely perfect. Also, though, if you do have a Switch, do you know what? This is a must. This is a must. I would actually buy it. So this retails, believe it or not, for $40. $40 this goes for. Man, that is an absolute steal because one, look at that feel, man. You're getting nostalgia all over again. You get that feeling of it. It just actually feels like we're in the 90s and they've just made a modern contemporary controller for Nintendo, whatever, PlayStation. I mean, it is MFI certified, so Bluetooth devices, PC, Mac, Xbox, PlayStation, you can still use it on any of those devices. This is Bluetooth 2.4G wireless. So it does actually work on all those. It has different profiles. You can customize it. What more do you want? It feels good in the hands. And for me, and for most of you, that's exactly what you're going to need. And I'm going to say this is a must buy if you are playing games on your device, on your tablet, even if you want to use it as a spare controller for your PlayStation, for your Xbox. And if you're playing on PC, put the keyboard and mouse down and get this little beauty. You won't go wrong. Definitely, this is what you need, man. If you enjoyed the videos, guys, a sub to the channel will be nostalgia permanent, like permanent nostalgia for me. So we are going to be doing a lot more reviews, a lot more previews, a lot more gameplay, and a lot more stuff that you like. So stay tuned, guys. Cheers.